Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
Welcome back to Atn Politics. With me here in the studio is Honorable Bernard Odike. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Same here.
Okay, down to the business of today. And also joining me virtually is Honorable Adebayo Toba. Thank you for joining me, Honorable.
It's great to have been at the program. Thank you so much.
Okay. The All Progressives Congress in Rivers State has restated its commitment to take over governance of the state from the People's Democratic Party. Chairman of APC Caretaker Committee in the state, Chief Tony Okocha, disclosed this yesterday in Port Harcourt while receiving various support groups that came to pledge the support to the current leadership of the party in the state. The support groups are the Conference of APC Ex-Councillors of Rivers State, the Consolidated APC Grassroots Movement, the G37 Political Support Group, and the Consolidated APC Support Group. Okocha stated that the APC in Rivers State is now one, united and stronger as a political party, stressing that the party is for the people and open for everyone. He further stated that under his leadership, the principle of the many, the merrier, would remain key and a major driving force behind many successes recorded by the party. Within his short time at the helm of affairs of the party, the APC Caretaker Committee chairman assured the groups that with their continued support, the party in Rivers State would continue to grow and win elections. In their separate solidarity and goodwill messages, the leaders of the various groups took turns to extol Okocha's leadership qualities to reposition APC in the state. They also appealed for support to the leadership of the party in the area of empowerment while pledging the total support to the leadership of the party and their commitment towards the success of the party in Rivers State. Now, Honorable, this was a statement from the APC chairman. Now, is this in view of the 2027 elections? And, he also came out to say that the APC in Rivers State is now one. What is your opinion on that?
Well, thank you. The issue is everybody has an opinion. And in a civilized world, every opinion should be respected. The self-acclaimed or the acclaimed APC chairman in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, who doubles as the Rivers State rep in the NDDC. We know that after he was given that mandate to be the caretaker chairman of APC in Rivers State, we've seen some other persons who are also laying claim to the leadership of APC in Rivers State. If you've been following the trends, you would agree with me that the publicity secretary they call themselves, I don't know what's that they are doing again, that they call themselves, those who were elected executive of Rivers State APC. They are saying that whatever Tony Okocha claims to be is not true, that Emeka Beke remains the chairman of APC in Rivers State. And I can tell you that this group of people, having observed and having followed the trend in Rivers State, will tell you that their support is with, as we speak today, the governor of Rivers State is of the PDP. And they will tell you that the governor of Rivers State today, by his qualities, his leadership style, that they support him. So what does that suggest to you? For instance, I will tell people from the reality of what it is today in Rivers State. PDP is a party to beat in Rivers State any day, any time. I can tell you that today, as it stands, wherever Governor Fubara is standing, and I can tell you Governor Fubara is of PDP, wherever he's standing, you have the support of Rivers people over 99% as we speak. It used to be like about 98%, but today as I talk to you, it's over 99%. So whatever claims Tony Okocha is making is just out of, how he feels. How he feels. He has been rewarded by the APC government at the national, one way or the other, and even the APC government, the appointment is holding in NDDC is courtesy of the APC government in the center. And today, the APC, I think the party structure has also given him the caretakership, which is in contention today as I speak to you. I think they're in court. Yeah. So first of all, let him settle the legal aspect of his authentic of him being the authentic chairman of APC before thinking of taking over Rivers State. I tell you, to be a Herculean task for any other political party outside the PDP to take over Rivers State. It's except the person wants to rewrite history, which I don't think would happen. It has never happened and will never happen.
Okay, Honorable Toba, the plan to take over governance in Rivers State amidst the ongoing crisis in the party, how do you think it's going to pan out?
Thank you. I listened to the essay, and in politics, so there's what we call maybe realignment, element and realignment of political parties and interest groups. I think what Okocha is trying to say is that we used to have one very strong PDP in Rivers, and we knew recently what happened with the governor and the city governor. They have kind of loophole between them. When there is space, it can enter. So everybody is looking at opportunity, maybe to just, work on that kind of difference between the two of them to solidify the PC. So for me, what I would say, if not just wash the state away, because there is a crack in PDP in Rivers State presently. Tomorrow they might make up, but presently there is a crack, and crack is taking. Depending on what happens later, we know the person has waging to resolve the difference between them. But we study very well. I think Tony was the former chairman of local government in Rivers under PDP. The chief of staff under PDP. So definitely, he said that some of us the PDP will have to be able to build the plane. So for me, he's making a point, but it's not left for the PDP to put his act in order. Because for every, we remember Jonathan era, where 5 governors eventually said they are leaving, and they handed up and APC won the second term of Jonathan. So for me, politically, any person that is important, when you hear things like this, you have to put your house in order. That's my comments. Oh,
okay. Thank you, Honorable Toba. Now, Honorable Bernard, what is the strength of the PDP in Rivers State as of today?
As we speak today,
yes,
in Rivers State, what we have, for instance, we will not shy away from the realities of events today in Rivers State. But I can tell you that what Toba calls crack in PDP today is it has even strengthened the PDP. Like I said earlier, I chose my words and I said wherever Governor Fubara stands today, understand,
yes,
is where the people of Rivers State are standing. What you have today in Rivers State, you see simplified movement. Now, simplified movement, wherever it ends tomorrow, very soon there will be congresses. And I tell you, Rivers people will take their stand. For instance, where the governor is standing, I tell you that so long as the governor is in PDP, you understand, the structure will fall in line. And when that time comes, we'll come to a point where the reality will be so glaring to every interest group. You hear me? Tony Okocha today, with due respect to him, will always want to wish that things works in his favor, and then alongside with those he is working in cahoot with. Are you following me?
Yes.
But another thing you should also know is that there are also people. For instance, I speak to you, the simplified movement today in Rivers State, you will agree with me if you are following the trend, is that Rivers people are saying that, look, we are taking back our state. We want to decide what happens in Rivers State. They're not talking of any political party. This is a blend of, you're not talking about PDP, you're not talking about APC. Are you following me?
Yes.
And they are saying, look, this is a time for governance. And these people are like trying to take us to the place of politics again. And endlessly, how long will we continue to politic at the expense of governance in the state? Look, Rivers people are saying that, look, we are tired of this trend. We want governance in the state. We want things to move. Our living standards should improve. Not in a state where a few players, take advantage of the over 6 million Rivers people to their own advantage. People are now realizing that, look, these people are just using them to play games. And I tell you, with the way the governor, who today truly is the leader of Rivers State, he's the leader of Rivers State. He's the #1 citizen of this state. Yeah. So I can boldly say that he's the leader of the people of Rivers State. And from his approach, his attitude, people have come to even admire him more. This is a man, even in the face of provocation, he's not reacting. He's only responding to issues, with maturity. Even in the face of stiff opposition, or maybe he has been able to handle situation like any good leader would do. Yeah. So Rivers people are happy with him. And I tell you, wherever he stands, Rivers people will stand there with him. Okay, it's not about whether party or no party. But as I told you earlier, the governor is of PDP. And I tell you, and at the end of the day, it will be, in fact, better than what you have known. Tony Okocha and those with him will realize that, look, the people are in charge. You can't even rig election where you're not popular. You cannot. You cannot. So if you think that, you will come with a select few, maybe come with the state power, maybe federal might or something, it has never worked in Rivers State and will not work even in the future. The people are ready and will decide what happens in Rivers State. So Tony Okocha should forget. All he should be praying for, as I want to categorize Tony Okocha as an elder in the state by virtue of his exposure so far and by virtue of the position he's holding. This is a man who has been privileged to be appointed Rivers rep in a parastatal like NDDC, a parastatal that is set up for the development of the region. And he's our state rep. Let him concentrate and ensure that the Rivers State that he's representing in that board gets his due, and so that we can also feel the impact of NDDC as it ought to be and see development. Let him play down the level at which he's politicking. It's not healthy for him, not healthy for all of us. Whoever takes over Rivers State in 2027 is immaterial. What Rivers people are looking for is good governance. Somebody who will deliver the dividends of democracy. And from the way he is going, it means that even beyond 2027, Tony Okocha will still be politicking. And that is not what we're looking for. We're looking for people who will deliver the dividends of democracy. And by the example shown by the governor of Rivers State today, it means that governance is taking place. Like I said, a whole lot of distractions. We don't want the distractions. We want to move on as Rivers people. We want to deliver good governance to the people. We want people to feel the impact of governance and not politic. We want to politic forever. It ought not to be so.
Okay. On to Benue State. The end seems not in sight in the crisis rocking the Benue State chapter of the All Progressives Congress. Media reports have it that the party has been embroiled in a leadership crisis since the inception of the new government led by Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia. Alia's alleged cold war with the party's state leader and the current secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, has caused a deep division within the party, with members taking sides, while the state's party chairman, Austin Agada, and majority of the members of the executive committee remain loyal to Akume. Few others pitch their tents with Alia. Agada, who is family with Akume, has been a fierce critic of the state governor, and this could be linked to his current ordeal. Recently, Dan Onje, the APC senatorial candidate in the 2023 Benue South election submitted a petition against Agada to the APC national leadership, accusing him of working against the party during the last election. Consequently, the former ward chairman of Ehaja Wuba, who is now a supervisory councillor to Obadibo local government area, announced Agada's suspension. But the national body quickly nullified the suspension, instructing the party to stay action pending a review. However, in a dramatic turn of events on Thursday, Benjamin Omakolo, the state welfare secretary, was purportedly announced as the acting chairman of the party in the state. However, the party's disciplinary committee in Apa local government area later suspended Makolo for alleged misappropriation of funds, gross insubordination, and consistent non-payment of party dues. According to sources, the governor no longer supports Agada as the party chairman, aiming to replace him with Makolo, the state welfare secretary. This became evident on Friday as a state high court in Makurdi restrained Agada from parading himself as the chairman of the party. Things have really fallen apart in the APC. Now, this is, you know, APC in Benue State, and they've had this, you know, coming together with Onje, and then the party chairman that was, you know, almost arrested on Friday. Now, like they said, APC in Benue State is falling apart. Do you think that the APC chairman at the national level is not doing enough to actually, you know, keep it together in Benue State?
Well, I'm not a member of APC, so I wouldn't really know what happens in AP. But you know, for the purposes of analysis in the public, you know, one thing every Nigerian should realize is that, for instance, as I was growing up, I knew that there were parties like National Party of Nigeria, Nigerian People's Party, Unity Party of Nigeria, GMPP, PRP, and then maybe NAP or something. You know, there were about 5 or 6 of them then. You know, then 1979, 1983. And to a large extent, as at 1983, I was no longer small. I was a boy, but not so much a small boy, so I could still remember some of the things that happened then. You know, but what we are talking about is after the 1983 elections, you know, the MPN still won, retained most of the states, the federal and all the rest. Then came night of that 31st December, 1983. The immediate past president of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari, and his colleagues struck and overthrew that government led by Shehu Shagari, a government that was just sworn in on October 1st, 1983. On that 31st December 1983, that government was overthrown, and then they brought us back to military era. You know, that played on until we got to another attempt to getting us to democratic rule. That was in, I think, about 1991, 92, that brought people like Ada George as a governor of Rivers State. And then we even had senators. Then suddenly things happened the way it happened, and then Abacha came struck, and you know, took away all that. And we continued until 1998, 99, when Abacha died. Abdul Salami came and hurriedly, you know, conducted an election that brought Obasanjo as the president of Nigeria. So what am I trying to say in all these historical data I'm given is that Nigeria will always remain, but political party may be here today and may not be there tomorrow. You know, it doesn't matter. Even we're talking about those who played in the past. Most of them have gone. You know, we should have the insight of knowing that our existence on this earth is just a temporary one. So that whatever we do, we should look ahead, considering posterity. What footprints are you leaving in the sands of time? It doesn't matter the political party you belong to. The law enables these political parties to be. Let us belong to wherever we want to belong to. But one thing that should be uppermost in our hearts should be to we use this political party as a vehicle to collect power. When we collect power, we should be able to use power to do good, to make our society a better place, come up with policies, come up with programs that will advance our society. It's so pitiful. You know, people take over public offices like what you have seen of recent. A minister or maybe some high-ranking appointees of the federal government being either suspended or sacked because of what? Embezzlement. You know, it's just quite too bad. People killing people because they want power. People doing all sorts of things because they want power. It ought not to be. Look at America. I have never seen a case where the Democrats remain in power claiming that they will be in power forever, or the Republicans doing the same. After 2 terms or something, you find out that Americans will decide to like vote out that particular party and vote in another party. Though they have their various regions, like what to have their states. Sometimes traditionally at that level they have a particular, either the Democrats or the Republicans, that naturally they will vote. But when it comes to the national, Americans don't allow any particular political party to remain in power for too long. They have a way of balancing it so that no particular party feels on top of the world, bragging and thinking, gloating. You know, for instance, you have the national chairman of APC today. Whatever that is happening in Benue State, all a responsible person should do is to ensure that what is fair and what is right happens. For instance, there is a governor there who defeated the candidate of the immediate past PDP governor, what's his name, Autumn, in the last election. And he's a sitting governor. All the people of Benue should do is to rally around their governor. This politics has passed. When it comes to politics again, you can play politics. But when it comes to governance, support the governor. Allow him to work for you. You know, come up with good ideas, good policy, you know, good visionary ideas that will move your state forward. And not to endlessly politic and begin to fight. You distract the man. At the end of the day, it is the people of the state that what suffers. You are there as a secretary to the government of the federation. Concentrate on your work there. Do what you're supposed to do so that Nigeria can move forward. Allow your governor who has been elected to work in the state to work. Those in the structure of the party, whatever they are, they should, it is their party now. Their party has produced a governor. Let them rally around their governor. If the governor may not be doing well, but what do they need to do? Must you come out to the open to wash your dirty linens? If the governor is not doing well, there are ways to go about it. For instance, if you're my sister of the same family, and you're not doing well, do I now come to the public and begin to embarrass you in the public? No. All I should do is I should find a time in our closet to do what? Think of how to, you know, to iron out these issues. And you know, when we come out to the public, we give a different projection, ensuring that we have been able to take care of things that are not supposed to be as they are. Are you understanding me? Yes. So these are some of the ways we should begin to think as a people. I must not be. Look, if my party is not in charge of the governance here, should I not pull down the state because we are not in charge? All we need to do is to support the government. The government should work for all of us. When it comes to politicking, we politic. Not when the governor just starting, has not even worked for up to a year. You're distracting him. That state will suffer. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Toba. Again, the APC is at the center of state chapter controversy. Do you think Ganduje has what it takes to fix the crisis, you know, at the national, at the state levels, considering Rivers, Benue, and others?
You know, for any big party, when it's expected there will be power tussle, especially when the parties in the center, considering the Nigeria political situation that we're just, you know, developing. So we have independence in 1960, but the real politicking starts in 1999. That's real democracy. So we know very well that, you know, it's all about, like my other colleague said, if it's about the people, I don't think that you could issue as early as next year. But this is about maybe the next election. You have not even governed for 4 years. We are thinking of who will get the ticket in 4 years' time. So if it's about the people, I don't think that will be an issue. But for the national chairman, I think he's a matured man. He has been governor of Kano State. He has gone through crisis too. So he should, and the president is very, very fast in terms of politics. And he knows how to handle issues like this. There definitely, once you have a power person at the center, and you have another governor, is either their friend or their host. Now, Akume is secretary, that's number 4, number 3 man in Nigeria, number 4 man in Nigeria. So the governor is from, and the governor will not want to be spent. But I don't know about so much about Baby, but the little I know is that the governor has not been a political name that is known all over. So maybe Akubem might be looking at as if, okay, you should listen to me, you should let me do my thing. But the governor is the governor. He's the leader of the party in this. So what I expect is that they should consolidation, even if you bring something back to the people, the governor let him now work. Really, it's not good for PC because when we take having issues like it happens in Edo, we start between Obaseki and Oshokuni. And we know what went now. APC has started those things of things like this. I just the candidate will actually, which they have done, because I read it that government said the result. I hope so. You know, they have any political statement. But for me, the national chairman has work to do because there will, the bigger the party, the problem you have to face.
Okay, thank you. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we have other interesting political issues to discuss. Don't go nowhere.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back to ATN Politics. And now, with, so many defections here and there, in the world of politics, alliances and loyalty can change at the drop of hat. This has been proven once again with recent news of several members of the People's Democratic Party defecting to All Progressives Congress. This marks exodus of key political figures has cast a stir in the political landscape, especially in Nigeria, and has left many questioning the future of the PDP. Recently, the Young Progressive Party, YPP, in Akwa Ibom State, collapsed its structure into the All Progressives Congress, APC. Thursday, no fewer than 15,000 members of the People's Democratic Party have defected to the All Progressive Congress in Ahozara local government area of Ebonyi State. The defectors, led by the leader of PDP Ebonyi South Zone, Henry Ude, former PDP chairman of Ahozara local government area, Obunaya Ene Odi, former deputy speaker of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, Honorable Jerry Obasi, Samson Osi Anu, and many others. Now, this will bring me back to the question I asked before. Well, that was in Rivers State. I asked of the strength, of PDP. Now, with the mass defection of PDP members into the APC, is the PDP actually, working to, at least curtail this defection? And why are people, members of the PDP, even defecting in the first place?
Well, you expect such occurrences, especially when a political party is out of power. And then what causes it, like in developed countries like US, people don't do that. You know, but we have a situation in this part of the world where people see politics as an end itself, you know, a means of survival. It ought not to be, okay? But having said that, I mentioned earlier that very soon the congresses will take place. You know, there were a lot of issues. Even we here in Rivers State, we were in the middle of the issues in PDP because we supported our former governor here. We stood by him, even when he decided to go for the presidential ticket of the PDP. We stood by him and we gave him all the support. And we actually felt so bad that, you know, he didn't get that ticket, all that happened. Even when he stood out to fight alongside the G5 governors, you know, to make requests such as that now that North had clinched the presidential ticket, because it was part of the bargain they made then. Even Yocha himself, who was the national chairman of PDP then, made a promise that if a Northerner emerges, that he will relinquish the national chairmanship position to a Southerner. You know, it became an issue. He did not. Are you hearing me? Yeah. We should begin to, when we want to talk about the problem of PDP, we'll begin to look at it from where it started. Not that PDP didn't have problems before then, but we're talking about the immediate cause of what we are experiencing today in PDP. Candidly, I would say, ordinarily in the first place, Atiku had no business aspiring to be president again for 2023 election, based on what happened in the past. I remember too well that in 2019, it was all Northern affairs. There was no Southerner that contested that primaries here in Port Harcourt. It was an all Northerners affairs. I remember too well that then our former governor then supported his friend, Tambua, the immediate past governor of Sokoto State. But Atiku clinched the ticket. Now, these are things we talk about. An elder statesman like Atiku, he had been a vice president of Nigeria before. You know, he's a respected personality. You know, but it must not be about you. It should be about the people. What was too big? For instance, some people carry, I didn't know, some people carried the rumor then that he said Wike was the reason he did not pull out, that they should have micro-zoned the presidential whatever to the southeast. But I don't believe that was true. First of all, what he should have done, if he wanted maybe if he wanted Obi or whoever from the southeast or whoever to clinch the ticket, what sacrifice is too big for him to, you know, have decided to say, okay, with his supporters, throw their weight to whoever they feel they wanted to support from the southeast. It's an election, because I told people that my analysis, as much as we were supporting Wike, I had my good reasons for doing so. What were my reasons? Jonathan, who is from South, became president by divine orchestration or by whatever, you know, by the death of his boss there, Yaradua. He stood to complete up his tenure. But while he even tried to like get elected in 2011, there was stiff opposition from the likes of people like Atiku and the rest of them. They fought tooth and nail to ensure they stopped him. Well, at the end of the day, he had his way. They didn't stop. Towards 2015, they ganged up. You know, even our own brother Hamichi joined them, and they ensured they stopped Jonathan from advancing. You know, Jonathan, yes, he got the PDP ticket, but he lost the general election to Muhammadu Buhari. Now, Buhari, what was part of the Atiku's explanations then, that it was the turn of the North. Now, Buhari has done 8 years for the North. So what business did Atiku still have after North had done 8 years, being that he advocated for the turn of the North? And North had done 8 years. Now, Atiku had no business. They said, oh, it will take a Northerner to win the election for PDP. Even people like Tambuwa moved from state to state in the south here to convince, and not knowing that some of our governors here, some of our leaders here, bought into the crap. They bought into the crap that it will take a northerner to win the election here, to win the election for PDP. Okay, even when the southern governors had their whatever in Delta State, I think what's his name, the erstwhile governor Ifeanyi Okowa. He was the one who hosted the Southern Governors Forum. They came up with a communique that it's either a Southern president or nothing. But what did we have at the end of the day? These are people who went behind doing horse trading. And Wike had all the genuine excuses to get angry. But even at that, on that day of the convention, right there in the velodrome at National Stadium, when he came out to make statement, he made a statement that whoever imagines here today that he will support the person, it was like a vow. Well, the election had come and gone. Wike lost. He came second, Atiku won. Thereafter, I think Atiku visited him, and later he also went to visit Atiku. And whatever they discussed and whatever they did, I think he gave his support. But along the line, maybe he made his own requests. But as things would happen at the time, they threw up his name that Atiku wanted to use him as running mate. And they even set up a committee. And that committee, majority of the committee, favored Wike for the vice presidential nomination. But to me, I saw it at the time when things happened the way it happened. I felt that it was a setup to humiliate him and destroy him politically. And then finally, what we now saw was that Atiku announced Okowa. It was enough to make anybody get very angry. You understand? And the man fought on and tried to say, okay, fine, no problem. We are still in PDP, nothing spoiled, not don't collect. Give back the national chairmanship to to the south. I think this became an issue. At a point, people like you derided Wike and his colleagues, calling them small boys. Understand? Calling them small boys. So anybody would want to, prove a point, and they decided to prove a point. At the end of the day, what happened? PDP lost the presidential election. PDP lost that election. So for us to talk about how to rebuild PDP today, yes, court based on the removal of court by verdict of the court, Ayu is no longer, he was suspended from his ward. Yeah. Okay, he was suspended, and court upheld that. So as we speak today, he's no longer the national chairman of PDP. So the deputy national chairman, not Damagon, is one acting today as the national chairman of PDP. Now the issue is, when we talk about rebuilding the PDP, what would happen during the congresses will determine what will happen, the outcome of the strength of PDP, or what we'll expect as a strength of the PDP in the future. But for now, don't write off PDP until after the congresses. The outcome of the congresses will determine if PDP, will still be strong or not be strong.
Okay, let's talk about political party ideology and its impact in Nigeria's democracy. Can Nigeria's democracy growth level with this level of intermingling among political parties? What is the faith of Nigeria, with the kind of politics we are playing in the country?
Well, we had mentioned it earlier on. You have people, sometimes people tell you that anything goes because it is politics. It's wrong. It's wrong. See, I will be happy, like I had contested election for councillorship in 2018. We had about 5 aspirants for that primary at the party. Though the party decided to say, okay, fine, to be able to harmonize things, to come up with consensus candidate or something. That position was zoned to my own community. We had 3 communities that make up my ward, so we had about 5 of us who vied for that position. We came to a day when 13-man panel sat to decide our fate, and 5 of us were kept out of the parlor of our leader then and they came up with their modus operandi for that exercise. And each of us came out one by one for a kind of interview. And part of it was that each of us were also asked, if it's not you, who would you want to be your better nest? You know, when I came out and they asked the question, I was like, I am my better nest. They said, no, you must choose one of them. So I chose one person. Somehow, because my spirit told me that I could be voting myself out, you know, that it looked like a voting, you know. So, and that was what it was. So at the end of the day, after that, I learned that some of them say they should declare result based on that particular answers we gave. But some people said no, that the 13 of them should still vote. Now they voted. Who were still in there didn't know what was happening. But suddenly one of us went out and made a call, called a leader, who then was the House of Assembly member representing our LGA in the State Assembly. You know, I didn't know how he got wind of what was happening. He called, he made that call, and I learned that the man now called our leader in that process to ask them to stay action, that they shouldn't declare the result. They should get that result to his place. But later, from findings, I found out that when we voted ourselves, 3 of them voted, gave me that vote. So I would have been declared the winner of that election. But they voted. After voting, what I still found out was that 12 out of the 13 voted for me. So clearly I was the winner of that exercise. But, you know, based on the fact that there was an interference, it lingered on. But finally, the same leader that this young man called summoned the same 13-man panel, and they came to we all went to his place that day, and my people explained how I won the exercise, and he had no choice to say, okay, go ahead, Bernard, go and get your form and fill your form. That was how I became the candidate and contested the election and won and became a councillor. Now, what are we trying to say? What we are trying to say is that even at that point when they were asking that question, at a point I made up my mind. If I lose, you know, at the point of that exercise, I told myself, that's what brought me into this story. If I lose this election, no be do or die. Okay. Life continues. I came to a point like that. It was open in my heart. I decided in my heart, nobody was going to die. Nothing was going to go wrong. This is the way we should have it in this part of the world. But today, what do we have? When people, when it's not going your way, you either cause harm or you create issues, and when you lose, instead of remaining to like find out why you lost the election and reject things, people begin to defect to the next party just because things must fall out. It is wrong. Well, it's not right. We need to go above that level and begin to do politics of ideology.
Thank you so much, Honorable Bernard Odike. It was a wonderful time with you here in the studio. And also thank you, Honorable Toba, for joining us virtually. You can catch up on all the conversation on our social media handles displayed on your screen right now. And don't forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. I am Chinyere Davis. Thank you. See you next time.
From the line across the
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.